to the point of tonight's show. This one's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to show you as many as we can. It's obviously an outlook that's a little weird, but we're going to talk college football uniforms. This should be fun. I have a lot of JPs to start us off, and then it goes into some of my favorites. And then we'll verbally try and tell you, for all you podcast listeners, we don't even see it. Jake didn't give us any images, so maybe there's some crossover.
Could I share my screen like when I get to it?
It's tough.
I would say probably not the best idea, but we have a little bit of a game show looking view here for everybody. But let's start it off with JP. Favorite uniforms, favorite helmets from the 2024 college football season. If you're joining us on YouTube for this snippet, this clip, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. If you love college football, if you love college football uniforms, hit the damn button. We love you. Let's go. JP, leading us off. The first one you gave me was the Illinois script lid from the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Why do you like it?
Correct. I liked that Illinois went back to the white face mask kind of when Bielema came back around. I love the black Illinois with the line under it as well, but the script here makes sense. It fits. It's not too long of a word. Some schools use too many letters and there's too many characters in the script. You can't read them. You can't see it. Doesn't look very good. This one fits really well. I just think their classic lid is very sharp, and I thought Illinois with the script really tied this all together. And so I think it's just simple, clean, with a little bit of a tweak to the modern times with the script, and I think it looks magnificent. So I just thought classic lid, nothing crazy. They're going to wear it quite a bit. I think it's, a well-respected one within the college football.
Illinois rolled out a few really good ones this year, especially with the integration of the 4 main helmets they use. The one they wore in Lincoln, orange pants, white top, the old, just Illinois, like 2007 look.
You have to
great look as well. Honorable mention.
Yeah. I think this script needs to stay in it. And then the block, it's not italics, but it's kind of ish. Everybody, Illinois fans know what I'm talking about. That look has to stay. The block eye was a bad move for them.
Yeah, the Indiana and Illinois shared helmet with different colors. Absolutely terrible. All right, Jake, give us one of yours.
Or let's just stay on the theme, because I think when we went back and looked at these, it's like script is back. Apparently script is just back. A thing for
There's
everybody.
A lot of script.
I'm going to go the ECU scripted Pirates, the chrome purples. Like, I know we don't have to show this on the YouTube right now, but go look it up when you have the chance. Like, the chrome purple for ECU was fantastic. Just the helmet in general, but then they paired it. I think they did like a chrome purple, yellow pants, white top, one of those games. And I thought that was just fantastic. ECU has very underrated apparel.
Let me roll that in with you, since we do have an image, but the ECU Classics, they made a new version of it this year.
Yep.
Oh my good Lord. This was a fantastic look. The classic lid, the yellow pants, the classic tops, one of the best in college football. And our affiliate uniform page, College Football Uniform Watch, check it out, basically bullied College Football 25 into putting these in the game. If you can't go back, find the tweet. We tweet at them for like 6-7 days straight. 8th day, they're in the game. So shout out to ECU fans. Great fan base, but this is an absolute elite look from a G5 school. And then they fired their coach in the same year that they wore these absolute beauties. So shout out to ECU. Great take, Jake. Going on to JP's second one. JP, tell us about this pick.
Yeah, I really liked the lid itself, and so that's why I put it in the helmet category, not overall uniform. I thought the overall uniform was so good for Navy. But if you're kind of listening to the podcast, the Jolly Roger uniforms that Navy put out, they were in the bowl game and the Army-Navy game. The lid itself, I think, is very sharp. Just the details within it doesn't feel overwhelming, not too much going on. But a Jolly Roger pirate flag on the side with I think a tip of cap to one of their pilot divisions. It works perfect. I think this one's really sharp. One of the better ones we've done in the Army-Navy saga, that the uniforms have become consistently some of the best in the sport.
Honestly, when you're talking Army Navy, that's like almost Groundhog Day. The reveal of those uniforms, they always do such a good job. They go so in depth and honor a specific division or day that they do such an awesome job. This is a great pick. I thought both uniforms, I think there's only been like 1 or 2 years where I'm like, all right, this one kind of let me down a little bit. Jake, tell us about your next pick.
I hope I'm not. I feel like I'm stealing. Somebody's got to have this one, but you
didn't send them in, so we don't know.
I'm going to go the big red helmets with the eyes at Western Kentucky.
Nobody sent that in, but that was going to be an
thought
honorable
somebody
mention.
was going.
Nobody did. Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad I have it
didn't.
then.
Yeah.
Again, bad showmanship on YouTube here, but just I'm not talking the Big Red with like the full body was pretty funny with him.
I
like,
thought that was pretty
Talking
good
about the
too.
eyes.
Yeah, but I'm just specifically talking about the eyes. I think JP, you tweeted
Dude,
it out the other
their
night.
softball team just put out these fire shirts. They're getting off
Which,
the bus.
okay.
And it's just the eyes on.
Yeah, but
the red shirt.
we're
Those
putting
are
the
so
eyes.
weird.
We're putting the eyes in like at a softball team. Sure, that's appropriate.
What do you want them
Bonk.
to do?
Bonk.
Just
What
you
do
know,
you
Bonk him.
want them to
just a
do?
thought.
I don't.
I
What's
like
the
the thought of it.
Jacob?
It
You
was-
rather put them on like I don't
Put
understand.
them on the
what-
back. Put them on the back of your shirt. You put
That's
like
stupid.
put like tops and then put the eyes up. That's not. Think about that. Tops and
I just thought about it.
in
Stupid.
script.
Why did
tops
you have
in
to
the chest,
ruin
and
this
then put
shout
the
out we
eyes.
just gave
Put the
this
eyes on the back.
great
Parts.
school?
That sound like a
Come
good.
on.
Come on.
I do love the script tops. I own a hat. Shout out No Rivals. ShopNoRivals.com today. Espresso Collection tops hat. It could work, but they can't be on the same side.
No, the
It could
eyes are
work.
on the back, on your back. Tops.
It could
script
work.
on the front, eyes on the back.
We
It
had to
could
make
work.
so
They could use-
difficult. We
they
couldn't
should
just
use
let
it.
be.
Yeah, I like the shirt on the front. I didn't see the eyes on the breasts like Jake
No,
did.
I
He
didn't.
really
Yeah,
pulled
I
that
don't
into
really
play.
understand how we had to make that a thing. Like we were good.
I like
Everything was
that.
fine.
No, I could
Little
not be
lighthearted
the
show.
only person thinking it. All right, I'm gonna go.
You're the first one I've seen.
Bonk.
I'm going.
That's
to
a
the
little bit of a
comments.
bonk. All right, let's
Just go
go.
to
Did anybody else? Yeah, if you're in the comments, let us know if you saw the Big Red Western Kentucky softball shirts and immediately thought that about boobs. If you thought about boobs when you saw that, let us know because
College
Jake
football
bonk
show.
on you.
College football show.
College football show. We're going back to it. Let me jump to the Sun Belt. We all love these, but ULM rolling out in the blacks this year. This was an awesome look.
Mhm.
They ran them like 4 or 5 weeks in a row because they were winning football games. But then we also saw, going on to another sport as well, that they integrated that look from the Warhawk that they put on their helmet onto their baseball hats. You see, I sent you that, JP.
Yeah.
Elite look that the school needs to lean into for their brand because this is one of JP's all-time favorite rebrands.
It is. I like the white helmets when they had the ULM, the new ULM they had on there. These are sharp too. Also, I
It's
used
a-
them a ton at CFB 25 when I took this program to greatness. But
Can I say that I'm not a huge fan of the white on the black jerseys? I guess the all black uniform and the white helmet.
that's fine. Yeah,
Just
you're
go all
entitled
black.
to
I
your
don't know.
opinion.
It's a fair take. I believe they have a black version now. Maybe that was
I don't think-
postseason
I
or
think it's
something.
I think they got a gray. They have a gray, don't they? Or they had a gray in the
I
past.
don't know. Let us know, ULM fans. ULM mentioned Guy. I know you're in there somewhere, but ULM, great look for them last year. Let's go on to JP's next one. JP, this was a good one as well. Always a good look for this team. But Marshall's Remembrance helmets. Tell us why you like
Yeah.
it.
I think this is one of the better ones they've done. I really like when they do the throwback Buffalo with this MU under it as well. Or I think it's
Yeah, they did it on the other
is it
side.
above
Yep.
it or below it.
No, they did
Yeah.
it on the other side. So
Yeah,
Buffalo,
but
UM.
is it just the Buffalo on the other side? Does it
Correct.
have the
White
okay.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I love that throwback logo for Marshall. I think the black looks really sharp with this shade of green. And then to incorporate all, I think 75 names across the center stripe on this helmet is just awesome. I think this is one of the better ones they've done. And Marshall's got a great green. It looks great with black. This one is about as good as you can do with the cool remembrance that they did on this one.
I'm a big fan of this UM. I think this is one of the throwback logos that should be utilized more. I had never really seen it, but that UM is a clean look with how wide it is. It's just different. And then the names and dates on the stripe, absolute beautiful touch. So definitely maybe should be within the general rotation of them. Jake, give us your next pick.
We sticking with just helmets
Helmets.
still?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just throw it in there. I think the Cyclone script, I don't know, any version you want to throw in there, the black and white, the red and gold they did this year, Iowa State's Cyclone script that they did on their football helmets it's just been fantastic. Kind of they used to sort of have that back in like the late 70s, early 80s a little bit. But and then I don't know if you've seen their gold basketball uniforms with the Cyclones across the chest, still looks awesome. But yeah, script it's all the way back, and I think Iowa State used it well. I'm not sure. It was fun for like a surprise when they first rolled it out with just the
Yeah.
black and white uniforms, but I'm good with not doing that ever again. I don't know. It's just well, now we're doing the all black uniforms. Now we're doing black and white, and now we're going to throw script on our primary logos helmet. Like
Well, if your primary logo didn't suck that much, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But they took such a step back
primary
when they
logo
went to
does
the
not suck.
iState. It does.
doesn't.
From what they
Not-
had, they took massive steps
what
back.
they- from
Bring
what they
back the
had-
spinning chicken.
I could do a whole podcast on the logo change, and I am perfectly fine with what Iowa State has right now.
I'd like Iowa to bring back their scripts they wore. In the
Are you
80s.
saying that because they sucked when they had the spinning chicken and versus now?
No, I'm just saying I think Iowa State needed we'd never had an iconic logo or a brand.
Well, you
And
missed.
We're finally sticking to something that
You
is
now?
recognizable.
You
it's
said
a rec-
iconic. It's
a
recognizable because people go,
recognizable,
holy
sorry,
shit.
not
that's
iconic.
Lee says it.
You can't
Not
tell me
iconic.
that nobody saw Sinado and they would have been like, that's Iowa State.
Yeah, and it also said ISU.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of Cardinal logos that kind of look similar, and I don't
Well, it's
know.
one
I don't think
bird.
they're
Because
that
they
similar
went-
at all.
because they went from, like-
it was a tornado bird.
The spinning chicken was what, from 98 to 2007?
09?
No, they changed
No, I think it
in
was later
08.
than that.
It was 2007. I can promise you.
No, you're right,
But-
because 2009 we beat you guys in overtime in Ames. You guys were wearing the I-State logo. You're correct. Keep going though.
When they-
See, that
when they
was
rolled that out with
2010, but good job,
Gray.
Parks, because we beat you in 09. Anywho,
Oh yeah, the
Um,
19 fumble game. Shout out Niles Paul.
we're getting off the rails here. No, they changed it. They did walking side. They did just the tornado in the early 80s. They did the spinning chicken. Like
Tornado
just
with the
get-
Iowa State across looks good.
Like- our counterparts across the state have had just the Tiger Hawk. Nebraska's had the N. Like that, Kansas State's had the Power Cat. We've never had a logo that has just stood, 60 years of time. And I think
Sinado
with
would
this-
have.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sinado would have.
I
I
don't
think
know.
you'd lose this argument. I think you think the rest of the fan base, or at least Iowa State, would want to bring it
100%.
back?
No, they bitch all the time how they want it back. I have apparel with it. I like it. It's fun to wear. It's a cool throwback. I think Iowa State finally has a logo that's recognizable, I should say. And I don't think they should change it again. 'cause
Jesus, you wrote half your name on the fucking logo. Hope you recognize it.
Yeah, it's literally a gigantic I-State. You could probably narrow it down pretty
Three
quick.
letters, brother. You better figure it out.
All right, let's go to my next pick, staying on the helmets. I do want to stay on the green a little bit with looking at Marshall, but let's go to the helmets first. Shout out to, I don't know if you guys know about this one, Towson. Towson did
saw
a
this
Western Kentucky style version this year with their cartoon tiger. It was awesome. They did a runner, a kicker, a pat. They did it all, and it looked great. They wore it only 2 weeks of the season. This is obviously one that didn't make a ton of national news because it's an FCS team, but still an awesome look. And I think more teams, if you have the ability to, or if you have an awesome cartoonized mascot that everybody recognizes, use it on your helmet. I mean, have a little fun with it. That's the best part about college football outside of those tradition-based lids like Michigan, which you could get into, but nobody will have them on this list for good reason. But shout out Towson. This was one of my favorite ones I saw all year, and it's a beautiful look. JP, back to you for your next one. Let's see who we got on the deck. And it is
Yes.
Fresno
Okay. This was
I showed
unique for
both.
Fresno State. Yep. This was very unique. I like these a lot. The white is simple. The script Bulldogs, like they've always had, usually on a red lid. And then the incorporation of the feathers here looks awesome. I didn't do my due diligence and the research behind the feathers and kind of what they meant. But I'm telling you that this lid was underappreciated this year, and I think deserves some more recognition. So I figured let's throw it up here.
What a letdown team that team was, but good brand nonetheless. Great call. I don't know what the feathers mean either. I showed both versions. I think they wore the Star Spangled Banner ones last year is what they called them.
Okay,
and
I
then
got
this
it.
year they just did the primary white against Hawaii with the feathers on it. Very clean look. What did you find on the meaning of those feathers?
Fresno State decided that they were going to honor Native American Heritage Month with these. So they had people within the valley there that Fresno State's in. If you didn't know, Fresno State's the V on the back of their helmet stands for the valley. They had a Native American artist design these and kind of put the logo up. So that's kind of the history behind it and what they did. And it looks awesome.
It does look awesome. Honestly, maybe it should stay. If you want to honor the Valley, no one would hate the look of the feathers long term. I think it looks awesome. But the Bulldog is also a great look. Shout out to that brand because it's pretty beautiful. Jake, your next pick.
Well, I don't have this one, but like, do you guys have this one? Speaking of like homage to like heritage and your history, what do you guys think of like Utah did that a few times this year with some different designs? You guys fan of those?
Yes. I liked Utah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that. Speaking of history, I'm gonna go. Everyone does blackout uniforms, but the Coal Rush West Virginia ones were fantastic.
It's tough. Yeah,
it was fantastic. And as someone who went to that game where they broke those out, and somebody does have it.
I had them in full uniforms. But you can use it. You're good.
This is my full uniform. When I don't know if you guys saw on TV, if you watched that game, they ran out like the coal mine. They had actual miners in their uniform, like line up as a tunnel for the guys when they ran out and everything. And just, I got into like I think I've said this before, a little rabbit hole on like the history of coal mining in the state of West Virginia and just like what it means to a lot of those people. Like it was a big freaking deal. And like those guys were really proud.
Shout out CWG. He'll tell you about it tomorrow at the concert.
Yep. Charles Wesley Godwin, his dad was a coal miner, wrote a song about it. Just super, super cool. And to like see dudes like be really, really prideful in a football game for their blue collar job was actually just awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. It's definitely a good look. Too bad they were terrible this year. And I believe Iowa State clobbered them.
Then Iowa State spanked them.
Yeah, so a little plus side for Jake to recall those uniforms in a good way. But JP also had those on his list. For my next pick, you guys knew it was coming, right? Everybody sees this helmet on this side of me. I mean, they got to make it somewhere. I'm obsessed with the green. It's a very close green to a Kelly green, but it's a mean green. So this combo, full uniform from North Texas, where they mean green it out. The script lid was brand new for them this year. They alternated face masks week to week with this look, where they did black when they'd wear it all green, but when they'd go white, they'd make the white face mask. Just an ultimate branding move, a great brand in general, but an underappreciated uniform school because they have a lot of different combos. They dropped 4 or 5 helmets throughout the season, but this was probably my favorite look throughout the entire season was the all mean green. And they probably scored 100,000 points and gave up 999. So that's just where they're at as a program. But shout out to North Texas, one of my favorite looks out there in active college football. Going to JP's next pick. Who is it? Great pick here.
These ones. Oh my God.
Yes,
UTEP throwback with the miner on the side of the helmet. They are incorporating that baby blue that they had for a long time, and it is sharp. Full uniform. I was like, this has to go full uniform. It can't just be the helmet because I just think the colors work so darn well on it. And so I don't know. There's not a ton to say on this. Like simple.
It's a beautiful
sharp,
look.
Clean, unique. I think I'll throw that in there. This is a unique logo, a unique mascot, and they do the miner better than anybody.
UTEP's alternate uniforms are also usually just awesome. They're general throwbacks with the Texas Western across them. Great look as well. The only one I've ever seen a miss on is the Digi camo that they released recently. Awful look. Throw them away. Those are JV practice jerseys. Never show them again. But then they also have I might butcher it, but I think it was El Chucho helmets this year that they rolled out.
Mm-hmm.
That area.
Yes.
Badass. Scotty Walden, one of my favorite coaches in the G5. I do think he'll be successful there, but he dives really deep into the heritage of that area. And so like he recruits in like cars with lifts and he just does a lot for the honorage of that heritage. And it's just awesome. So I do think that we'll see more cool stuff from UTEP's branding.
Is a word.
Sorry?
You might be looking for. I think culture is the word you might be looking for.
You can do culture
in El Paso.
But it's more than just culture. It's like honoring. He did something from the past that it's like not a car in existence anymore. You got to look it up. I got to find the video of Scotty Walden on his recruiting trips. It might be the funniest video out there, but I do love UTEP, and this is a great pick. Jake, your next one.
Yeah, I think this might be my last one.
Okay.
Did USC wear these against Nebraska Parks? The
classics.
Uniform?
Yes, they did.
It might not seem crazy, but to me, I just love when we do throwback uniforms back from
pick.
The 80s and 90s. I was a big fan of of USC. It was pretty simple. USC already kind of has just like a classical uniform in general. They don't really change their tops or the logo on their helmets or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I think they had the gray face mask just like they did back in the day, and then they had the stripes on the shoulder.
They have a great
pads.
face mask today.
Yeah. So I was
I'm gonna go worst pick of the uniforms right there, and this is why JP gets my uniform text and not you. Come on, Jake. That it was one line different. It was the same look. It's just not. That wasn't it. But I can see it. There's somebody. It's cup of tea out there, and it's Jake's cup of tea. What do you think about the USC classics, JP? Those were on the uniform page.
I like them. It's just it's not too far off from what they're wearing now. Like they're all sharp.
But sometimes like I think we go over the top with some of these uniforms, and it's like sometimes
like
little uniform change.
Some schools don't even wear their school colors. I've seen uniforms that are.
I don't know. I think some schools regressed this year. Like when Nike put out that same blueprint for everybody, it's just like
the stripes. It was the year of the stripes, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. It was the year.
We're gonna have to.
All right, JP. Going to your next pick. This is a Nike school, but it's one that everybody kind of loves to look at.
I am an advocate for LSU wearing more than just white at home. But when you go all white with it, it looks sharp. It's clean. The purple looks nice. It pops. The gold, it's clean. It's simple. It's iconic, I think, in a lot of ways. And I think they should wear their purple jerseys more. I think they should wear them home. I don't know why we don't. Like the Cowboys drive me nuts doing that too. LSU looks better in their white than the Cowboys do. But the white at home thing and like the superstition behind it, I get it. I understand it. But your purple is so good. Why not use the damn thing? The all white are my favorite combo. Yes, I saw they also went white, gold, white.
Yeah,
I like the all white a little bit more. I just think this is a very, very, very good look.
And Nike takes care of LSU, man. They have such a good brand. Purple and yellow are just that colors that just work together. That's the best way to put it. I'm going back to the G5 for mine. I floated a lot of G5 out there, but this school did a lot of different things this season, and this is one of my favorite looks. But Texas State has a really good color scheme and a good brand to do a lot of cool things, and Adidas did a nice job on these jerseys, but they rotated these helmets between the gold look. They did a script with the cats. That is an honorable mention for me. But Texas State's brand and this look in particular on the road when they wore the maroon pants with these tops was just an elite look. So shout out Texas State because they're doing a lot of stuff with their brand. And I hope they dive more into the Cats script that they've been doing because there's a lot on the table there for a G5 program to grab.
I just like the Bobcat logo. Like, I don't think we need to run too far.
They use it a lot.
Yeah. Like they use it a lot. Even go far at all. Like we're good.
That's a fair point. Yeah, TMU. Shout out Friday Night Lights. Yeah, that is TMU. That's the first thing I noticed. I just watched that show for the first time very recently.
That's wild.
The first time, like literally months ago, a couple months ago.
It's literally Texas State.
Have you watched it all the way through?
All the way through.
And?
I liked it. I loved it. I thought it was absolutely. I watched the whole thing in like within a week's time by every season.
Worst character in the show, though, is?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
There's one answer.
I don't know what you're saying. I think the really bad actor, I'm spacing out his name, was the quarterback that got hurt. But that's just an acting.
No, worst character in the show.
McCoy.
Like who's just it's Julie, dude. It's Julie.
Okay. She was second on my list.
All right, no Friday Night Lights. We can go a whole show on that too. I got a lot of Julie does suck. Good call. All right,
character.
Let's go down to the next one. Let's go to JP's next pick. I can't even remember who it is. I'm just going to try and find the right spot within this slide.
Well, I think there's only one left after. Yeah, there you go. Throwback mixed with a little new school, Texas Tech. They wore these on senior day. This has the old school double T on the side of the helmet. I like Texas Tech.
I took West
Something about these ones clipped with me though. Like these ones worked a lot, and like usually I'm just like, oh, those look nice. Like black, red, white looks good. These ones work a little bit more than the other ones. So I was a big fan of these, and I believe that players selected these ones. The seniors got their choice on what they wore on senior day, and they went with this. Hell yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Single-handed.
I didn't like their Mahomes ones that they were like it was like slate gray all over. Wasn't a fan of those. These ones work.
It was a big year for them on the transfer to Adidas from Under Armour because of
Mhm.
Pat Mahomes. They got a nice look going to them. The Reds were really nice too with the Red Raiders across the top. Just a nice rebrand away from Under Armour. And we got a couple more schools leaving Under Armour here soon. I believe one of them is UTSA. UTSA is going to Nike here shortly. So we'll see a new kit from them in 2025, which will be nice. Jake, did you have any more picks? I can't remember.
You know what I don't have? I didn't have I
What's
shouldn't have given this pick out for that game right down there. Texas Tech. I took West Virginia like +7 on the road, and Texas Tech won like 49
51,
to
51
yeah.
15 or something.
I don't even think we got that many points on the board. I don't even know if West Virginia scored.
If it makes you feel better, I took North Texas plus like 9.5 at Texas Tech, and they lost 66-7. So
I told
it just
you
happens.
that. We told you they were going to hang 100.
I had to take them. They were rolling. I thought they were going to put up 100. Texas Tech was giving up 100 as well at that point, but it just didn't work out. My next pick, because Jake's off the board, we already saw this one, sir. I don't know where I'm at in my slides here. Let's go to Purdue. Purdue sucks as a football team.
The only thing good that happened in 2024 for Purdue.
Terrible football team. Great hire as their head coach, but they rolled out a couple of new helmets this year with their new uniform sets. They unfortunately got bit by the Nike bug with the stripes everywhere. Very basic, but they had these lids that they wore on a Friday night, along with a white Purdue helmet with the big key on it. Yeah, there's a couple of nice looks floating out there for Purdue, but I did like these. I do wish they kind of incorporated the old, I think it was like 2013, 2014. You guys remember when they had the blacks with the train tracks?
The train tracks should never leave them. That's so unique.
I agree. Just put a stripe across this gold, and this is an elite helmet because it's a short enough name to get away with the script like JP mentioned earlier, but I did like this look from Purdue. My last one, I believe I have one more. I could be wrong.
The only one with any left.
No, I don't have any left. This was the one I wanted to mention. Any that were floating out there, there's a lot of good looks. I did like Oregon's Gangreens for the most part. JP's thrown up, yes, the Arizona vintage helmet. Very good look. One of the better retro logos in existence.
Sharp.
Yes. Absolute great pick. Any other? There's so many that we see in college football.
Yes, the problem is we're going to miss some. And so I'm wanting some feedback from the community here on their favorite uniforms from the year, because I know we're going to miss some.
This was our best video last year, right? That did like the best numbers.
Yeah, did like 20,000 views.
Breakdown. Yeah, we did a break. Didn't we do a breakdown of that's pretty good.
I hope that's not on some woman's chest. I wouldn't be able to pay attention.
Okay, I will come back on my statement. I looked them up. They at least have the eyebrows and they're like closer together.
Don't do that. Come on.
It doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad.
Come on, man.
Just
bonk.
First glance.
I can see what you're saying. They could have gone really badly, really quickly. But there was a lot of looks out there. The gangrene, all the looks from Oregon, the cancer orange uniform that they did from the kids making the designs. Awesome. Big Red just keeps making different appearances from Jake's iPhone. He just keeps shoving them in our face. Western Kentucky rolled out a few good ones this year. Whenever they use the script tops, they can kind of do a lot of stuff within it, whether it be the American flag. They did it like a carbon look in the tops helmet this year. But the real Jaguar, the real Jaguar logo. And they also have one, JP, while you're on there. They probably have the cartoon one. That one's a little crazy, but I love it just a bit. If you can throw that up there.
That one with the actual Jaguar, it's a white helmet with like dark navy speckles. Like not
and
like
it's got the SA on the other side.
Yeah,
my knowledge.
It's very subtle, like almost like eggshell that you would call it. And it's sweet.
Coming on the top of my head, like what did you guys think of? Do you guys remember Colorado's blacks they wore out against North Dakota State?
Yeah, that was their primaries. They moved their entire uniform set moved to the mountains.
Is that what those are?
They're geometric mountains. It's awful.
I was gonna say, I like the idea of it, but those uniforms
great look. Very similar to Louisville's running Cardinal. Very good look.
The flag looks sweet.
It's very hard to mess up a college football helmet if you put your cartoon mascot on it. It's very hard to mess it up.
Yeah. I'll always shout out to Boston College and the red bandanas they do every year, where the bandanas within the numbers and then the stripe. Sweet. Those are awesome.
Yeah. It's always a good look. The year over year alternates that teams wear are usually pretty good because they keep making reappearances. But Any others that you're trying to think of? I keep trying to talk out loud because we're on a show
No,
where
I-
it requires talking.
What about? Were you guys fans of the Ohio State Reds? They wore all reds.
The all
in
red?
the first playoff game.
I like the dark grays more, but I like the reds.
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of the dark. They wore the dark grays against Iowa, right?
Tennessee too. I think they were.
No,
didn't
they wore the
they were
all
the red?
reds against Tennessee. That's why it came
Yes,
to my
they were the
mind.
grays against Iowa. Yeah,
I like the gray.
I think they're
the gray
nice.
is sweet. The red,
I think
no.
you're staying on like the all colors in that part of the country. Michigan goes all navy. That looks nice.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I will say, the more I'm thinking about it, I do the G5. Just they get so experimental with their uniforms sometimes that they just pan out better than the power names. But like nobody mentioned, the Vice U uniforms were good this year. They had a nice look. They were a little bit toned down.
Kind of like
but
Purdue, just like they needed something to go right for their football program.
Yeah, Purdue was a bad football team, but good looking nonetheless. It's a definitely a weird brand that nobody talks about, but definitely a good one. There was a few others that came to mind, and they're all in the G5. But I'm blanking on them right now. There's so many. So let us know in the comments what we missed, who we should have talked about. We mentioned Oregon. We mentioned all the common ones. The Smoky Grays this year for Tennessee. Very good. They're on the it's on the cover of this episode, so obviously we have to mention it. And then the Illinois throwbacks, we didn't talk about those, but the leather helmets also on the cover of this show. What did you guys think of those?
I
You like that? Or is it a little too much?
I like them, but I wouldn't like bring them back every year.
I did hear through the grapevine that those leather helmets. You didn't remember the look of them?
No, I was saying like the Iowa State, like when Iowa State did the brown pants that made them look like they were naked.
Yeah.
Fun touches between both schools. Just like you're probably good never wearing them again.
I did hear through the grapevine that this Illinois helmet was, in fact, they were all hand painted in Omaha, Nebraska, which kind of irked me because we never do anything really cool with our helmets, especially when we get our one alternate a year, which we didn't get this year. But I was a little mad. We can get into the detail. They've got quality to do that. Then come on, make it happen, people. But that was an awesome look.
What if on Nebraska Nebraska's more, they'd like to stay away from changing their uniforms. They're more of a classic.
No. We have alternate talk all the time.
What if you get what if teams started getting really creative with you got to move my mic here, like on the neckline and on the hip of the pants, like cool signature things that just represents the school.
You mean like Oklahoma State did with the bandana look, and then Florida State does
Florida
with
State.
the FS. Yeah.
Great call, Jordan.
I don't know if I can think of that, but what if Nebraska?
They got rid of them at Oklahoma State, but they had.
Are you saying maybe Tennessee does the checkered? Would that be kind of along the line of what you're saying?
Not even the whole neck, just the one little centerpiece on your whatever you want to call this, your clavicle.
Yeah, your chest piece. Yes, your clavicle.
Like they put.
I don't know.
I don't know. What would you think if they put a corn on there or on the hip, like a little piece of?
We do have a corn logo. It could work. Nebraska has about 50 logos that are a part of their brand and trademarked. If they use more of them, I would never be mad.
They could do the buff. I think Kansas State could do the walking Willie the Wildcat.
Iowa State, a badge that goes on right
here. You know what I'm talking about? Here.
Yes, he's talking about the badge.
But people do.
I'm not talking on the chest.
I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
People do that.
They do, but he's talking.
Iowa has a logo on it.
He's talking about implementing more retro logos, like using the Swarm logo, the Flying Hawk, the Flying Herky logo.
Something cool that's just iconic for your team. I think Iowa State, they got crapped on for that Bugle logo on their helmet.
Yeah, because it sucks.
I think if you threw it right here or on your hip, I think it could work. Like a little subtle.
The Bugle logo? Or are you talking about the 3-lined Iowa State vintage logo? That's the tornado?
No, that's the Jack.
I like that logo.
No. The tornado one that says Iowa State across the top.
Hold on.
I like that one. I'm pulling up Bugle right now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Bugle logo. I'm thinking about what a Bugle looks like. It has to be the tornado. Oh, yeah, that one's not good. I like Bugles, though. Shout out Bugles.
I don't think it looks good on an entire helmet, but I think it could work on the hip, or the centerpiece of the neck. I don't know. I wasn't a
this logo sharp.
Yeah, that one's not bad too. You could take out the Iowa State piece and put that on your hip or on your neckline. I think all teams like what Tennessee did with Smokey instead of maybe the checkerboard. They put a Smokey right on the
Put a little Smokey on there.
little Smokey. They put Smokey on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of things to. I like when teams really dive into like just their logo history or just school history.